Hi there, this is Helen from Occult Projects, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and a first thoughts review of the Seed and Sickle Oracle deck. So for a little bit of info, I don't generally work with Oracle decks. I only have tarot really, but I've been wanting to give Oracle decks a try. So when I saw that Liminal 11, which published this deck, they were doing a half price sale. So I thought, oh, this is a great opportunity. And I saw the imagery, which really sold it for me, because I think out of a lot of the Oracle decks I've seen, this one looks like there's a lot more different kind of like applicable meanings that could be applied to the cards. Sometimes a lot of the Oracle decks leave me feeling kind of cold, like they might just be all about positivity, and this is where I prefer tarot, because life isn't all, beauty and sunshine and roses. We have to take, the shadow period with light. So I'm very excited to get into this. It looks like a really beautiful deck. It also came with an embroidered pouch, which I very much appreciate. I do love the green colour, and it's good quality. There we go, liminal11.com, the publishers. To be honest, I probably won't use this for the deck, and I'll tell you why. Because in our business, we actually make deck pouches, so tarot and oracle pouches. And I find that these are just, again, this is just a little shameless plug, but it's my channel, so why not? Yeah, my pouches are just really easy to use. There's no faffing around with the drawstring. There we go, there's an example. But I will probably use it for transporting crystals, because I want to carry these around with me, and they might not really work within another pouch because they might fall out, but this will be very secure. So I'm probably going to use it for that. Okay, pop you over to the side. So let's dig into the Seed and Sickle Oracle deck. So be careful I don't cut anything important. Oh, including me. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so an oracle deck that centers on the cycle of sowing and harvest, exploring the themes of growth and rest. The cycle of sowing and harvest is one that we see reflected around us every day. There are times for productivity and there are times for rest. The Seed and Sickle Oracle from Fez Inkwright, author of Folk Magic and Healing and Botanical Curses and Poisons, is designed to encourage reflection on both of these. So again, published by Liminal 11, where you can buy this. So I like this box. I think this is a feature with a lot of the Liminal 11 deck releases, is they have this little magnetic box, and it has a very satisfying click to it, and I'm a big fan of that. So 2 boxes again. Oh, okay, I'm a big fan of gradient. All right, I'm easily amused by beauty and color, and look at the detail on the inside of that box. So that's real attention to detail. That is very satisfying. It's like nighttime because it's the inside of the box. One for the sheave and one for the crow. Okay, need to look up that, see what that means. So I'm going to pop you there. One to wither and one to grow. It feels like a spell. One to wither and one to grow. Again, I like this idea of the different elements of a cycle, and we're gonna have the light, we're gonna have the shadow, including like plants, including like plant life. Another beautiful box. Okay, get rid of you. Detail on all sides and the inside. I mean, I would have that on my wall. Maybe one wall. But yeah, that's nice. That's a very satisfying box. Okay, we have 2 books. So it looks like real meat and bones. Like there's a lot of like solid stuff to work with here. This, you can tell straight away that so much work has gone into it, that they've got two versions. So let's have a look. Each card can be read in two ways, the dawn and the dusk, providing advice for every reader, whether you're actively working towards a goal or focusing on your mental well-being. This booklet contains the dawn readings, dusk readings, for the cards. So let's look at this one. Perfect for if you're starting a new project, building new relationships, or focusing on revitalizing yourself. If you're looking for guidance on how to best take care of your body and your mind, open the dusk booklet for more holistic reading. Best take care of your body and mind. If you're looking to start a new project or understanding a period of expansion, open the dawn booklet for reading to help you achieve your goals. Love it. Again, it's a high quality book as well. I love the artwork around the edges. So every page is there's so much work that's gone into it. It's very detailed. Nice, clear imagery. Okay. So that's an example. So let's have a look at the Dusk guidebook. So we have foreword, introduction, quick reading guide, and spreads and complementing tarot. Excellent. So foreword, quick reading guide. Okay, great. So we've got keywords, spring, summer. So there's, I guess then there's going to be split into different seasons then. Fall and winter. So this is, I'm not sure if Liminal 11 have an office in the US, but I suppose they're making it inclusive to, you know, other cultures that use fall, which, you know, we're pretty obvious who that is. Because if we used autumn, that's going to be too confusing. Okay, but that's fine. I know what fall means. And winter. So I love that this says, you know, what season we can associate it with. So that can help deepen the meaning. And we have the keywords. Okay. Spring is the true beginning of our year, a time when the ground thaws and the first shoots of new growth begins to show. All right. So it's not all, so look at this. So where was that again? I saw jasmine. So it looks like these cards have like really like interesting advice. Where is jasmine? There. So I just saw this, and again, this is something that I like about tarot and what's kind of put me off about a lot of oracle decks is it's all sweetness and light with some oracle decks, but tarot is got a greater balance. So you may feel as though your current situation is hopeless, but jasmine blooms during the night. See, that's a kind of empowering kind of messagery. That's my cat going crazy. Sorry if you can hear that. It's a kind of empowering messagery, you know, that we need to hear when times are tough. Okay, that was my cat going crazy. All right. So where was this one again? So yeah, so this one was the Dusk guidebook. Nothing that has passed away is truly gone. It's simply waiting for the chance to return in a new form. I love it. Yeah, and I love the comparing them. You know, we've got the color of the backgrounds. So let's compare a meaning. So let's look at older. Oh, look at that. That was easy. Okay, so an example, Dawn guidebook and Dusk guidebook reading for Alder. Drawing this card is a warning that a conflict is on the horizon. Alder charcoal ignites quickly and was historically used to manufacture gunpowder and other explosives. Even the tree itself is said to be responsible for starting heated arguments. When tension does occur, try not to retaliate. A quarrelsome reaction will only make things worse. Try to play the mediator instead. The alder tree is associated with ravens. A Welsh belief states that if a raven which rests in which nests in an alder is befriended. He will teach you new languages and the gift of prophecy. Whether your social network includes birds or not, there is value in teamwork and the other things that you can learn from others. Is there someone in your life you'd like to be closer with but don't know how? Now is the time in which to open up to them, and sharing your thoughts will help you to achieve that and build on the relationship. So we can see like a clear difference between the two meanings. So it's almost like opposites, but they're both very constructive. Okay, I like that. So let's look at, okay, reversals. So dusk versus dawn readings. So it helps you to decide how to choose dawn or dusk, and note on reversals, spreads, simple one card, and examples of when to use it. Very good for beginners, very helpful. The seed in growth, past, present, future advice on obstacles, nice. The sickle, what was sown, on what do events rely, what will be reaped, what will be nourished. Interesting. I'm a big fan of new spreads all the time. I love the ways that they can help us see the cards in different ways. Spring equinox. So seasonal readings, that's great. Equinox readings, I love it. The seed in the wild. Okay. Complementing the tarot. Whilst not a spread per se, the seed and sickle oracle can help unlock further depths within a tarot spread. The two systems each sit within their own space, so switching out a random card in a tarot spread is unlikely to be helpful. The tarot has its own set of relationships between its cards, thus the best use for an oracle deck is to make a one-card draw that sits slightly outside of the spread itself. So that's really helpful, because for someone who has exclusively read tarot and wants to incorporate oracle decks into the reading, it's very helpful to have like an example of, you know, how to do that, basically. So we can do it before, we can do it at the end, okay, and then, you know, how you can use that. So that's a good start. Yeah, there are many ways in which oracle can work alongside the tarot, and the way that suits you will only be found through curiosity and exploration. Fair enough. Let's see, are the spreads the same? Winter solstice, summer solstice. Okay, great. So they had the equinox, and this has the solstices. Any others? I've got the sickle there as well. I mean, I would quite happily look at a summer solstice spread in the, like with the dusk meaning. I don't think that you would need to be so strict with one or the other. Seed in the wild again, complementing the tarot, and some information on the author. You can follow Ross Daughter, Instagram or Twitter. I think I will do that. Okay, so let's take a look at the cards. All right, so the seed, birch, lily of the valley. So this is the back of the cards. Bracken, wisteria, buttercup, poppy. Ooh, association with death, poppy. If you don't know, poppy fields, there's an association with poppies. Like there's a reason why poppies are used in the UK, perhaps in other countries, I'm not sure, but in the UK for commemorating World War I victims, and in some like movies and TVs to indicate, you know, when a soldier had passed on to the other side, you might see like a kind of dreamy shot of them walking through a field of poppies. So poppy, yeah, that's one I do know it has an association with death. Cherry blossoms. I used to live in Japan, and yeah, I love the cherry blossoms. Magnolia, so is that the sun behind it? Chickweed, a snake, interesting. Jasmine, I love jasmine tea, so very subtle, like very nice flavour. I love the use of colour and the beautiful imagery. So it's not just a case of like a single plant, like, or a single flower on like a plain background. There's a real thought in the colours, the colour schemes. Pimpernel. So these are numbered as well, which I've just noticed. So here we have a compass, oak, dramatic, very nice. Tulip. Okay, again, not sure if that's a sun or a moon. Moonwort, key symbolism. Oh, here we go. There. Who's this? Who's this? He wants me to look at him, not the cards. Well, that's just too bad, mister. Yeah, he'll get bored and go off. There's the cards, I would say they're not shiny. They're matte, and I like it. There's a slight sheen, but there's a definite texture to the cards. And I think that would make for a very satisfying handling. It definitely does feel very nice, and I think it'd be very good for shuffling. It's decent quality cardstock as well. Like, it's not too thin, it's not too thick. Clover also includes a lotus flower. Belladonna. All I know about belladonna is that in Italy, I'm not sure when, something like 100 years ago maybe, young women used to put belladonna into their eyes to make their pupils larger because it was seen as more attractive, but it also led them to going blind. Rowan, interesting. Clematis, again, beautiful colour. Willow. So there's some tears. We have triangle on the backdrop. So willow. It's tying a knot. So hang on. So that's just one. That's one branch. Basil. Looks a little sad. Is that blood? Maybe some violence. I love basil. Very fragrant plant. Daisy. I wonder if this is associated with like nostalgia in any way. Hops. I didn't know the hops looked like that. I haven't associated just hops with like beer. Hawthorn. It's beautiful. Feverfew. And rare hands. Yeah, there's not so many with that. Mustard. I don't really associate mustard with drinks, so it's interesting that that's in a cup. Asphodel. I don't know this one. Mushroom. This was one of the cards I saw that made me think that, yes, I definitely want this deck. I love the inclusion of mushroom because I think the symbolism with mushrooms is very interesting. And then adding to this, like the moon phases, yeah, this was a big draw. And the colors, I mean, again, these were the cards that I saw that made me like just really, really want this deck. Dandelion, associated with summer, very summery card. Love dandelion. Elder, so some dark tree. So there's going to be some, and it's a very kind of dark overall image. Ivy. Thistle, yeah. Being Scottish, you know, the thistle is our national flower, the flower of Scotland. It's interesting that it's upside down. So the story, the reason why a thistle is the national flower of Scotland is there's some story, like the antagonizers are different in each of the stories. So I've heard that it was like Viking raiders or English raiders wanted to attack some village, one of our villages, and they thought that they would sneak up, I think it was like late night, barefoot to try and catch the villagers unaware, but they unwittingly walked into a field of thistles, or like not field exactly, but like there were thistles in the field, and these are really prickly. They'd be really painful if you walked into these. And so the screams of the warriors awoke the villagers, and they vanquished them. Yeah, you don't want to touch a thistle. Crocus. Crocuses, to me, that's a sign of the incoming spring. Strawberry, beautiful. Needs winter, needs cold climates to grow. So I wonder if that's with the association with the dark. Excuse me. Blackthorn, again, love this color. Rose. I'm not a horticulturalist. Maybe someone who's like a botanist or horticulturalist would have a greater understanding and appreciation of these cards straight away than I do. But I wouldn't have associated roses with looking like this. But I'm keen to learn more about that. Verbena, absolutely no idea what verbena is, but we have a dove and what is that, like an eel? Again, love the colours, so I'm very curious. Alder, as we saw in the guidebook. Bramble, interesting red. Is that some blood reference? Citrus. Aconite. Interesting. Holly, first sign of winter. The bird and holly, very classic, Christmassy. These are the Christmassy cards, the winter cards. Chamomile. Yeah, I love chamomile tea, so very soothing, very calming properties is chamomile. Mandrake, winter to do with night. Henbane, not familiar with that one. Datura, beautiful colours. Apple and the sickle. So there we go. I'm really, really interested in learning to use these cards and learning their meaning. I think it's honestly the first oracle deck that I've seen that I'm actually quite excited about. So I will definitely be playing around with these. I'm going to do my my deck cleansing and charging, and then I'm going to interview the deck and find out what I can. So I'm going to pull some of these together. I'm going to shuffle them anyway, so let's just do that. So let's just do an example shuffling just to finish off. I'm not really a fancy shuffler, like I just do like this. Okay, that's really easy to work with. That was very easy to shuffle. Let's try some overhand shuffling. I'd say for someone who doesn't have very big hands, it's like kind of like at the outer edge of comfortable shuffling. I very rarely shuffle like this, but it's definitely doable. Yeah, but rifle shuffling, and of course you can do smooshing. Yeah, that's quite satisfying. So all in all, I'm very excited to use this deck. I'm very excited to learn the meanings. I'm going to be devouring the Dawn and Dusk guidebook. I'm not sure which one to start with. I suppose now that it's, where are we? It's kind of the later end of February, so we're getting into springtime. Maybe we're looking at the start of the year, new projects. Dawn guidebook might be a good place to start, but I'm probably going to end up flicking between the two. But yeah, I would say I recommend the Seed and Sickle Oracle deck. It's a beautiful deck, very interesting approach to Oracle cards. A lot of care and attention put into every aspect of it. So yeah, very good quality. So very pleased with this purchase.